Good morning and good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. Just about 6 minutes after the hour of 8 to the regional and international diaspora. A pleasant good morning. To the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, a pleasant good morning. Wherever you are watching us from, listening us from, good morning. Just to remind you, if you're listening, we are on your FM dial at 98.9. We're also being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, Facebook, as well as YouTube. If you wish to join in on the conversation or bring something pressing to the fore, our local number is 466-0989. In the U.S., 1718-215-6984 or 1305-921-4619, or in the UK, 0333440065. It's Wednesday, it's hump day. I'm pleased to be here on this Wednesday. Normally my Wednesday mornings are spent at the airport. So I'm happy that I'm here with you this Wednesday. Quint, before I get to you, I would like to speak to a special individual. Good morning, Mr. Gregory. I know, and I quote, you said you were not expecting anything yesterday, but as I said, thank God you did not say you are a prophet, because I would take pleasure in stoning you this morning. Yes, you can come for Hortensia today. I just wanted to put that out there because you didn't have much faith, so I think you need to work on the faith. I wouldn't start preaching this morning, but I just thought I'll put that in there just for you. So you didn't expect anything. You didn't have the faith like the famous Jumbie Eye, because she was telling them long time we gonna get it. Moppy believed, and Moppy, as he said, he's going to Boozies. He's not eating greasy Chinese food because he got his double bubble. So I wish you shared the same sentiment.
They did not believe. They were hoping.
I think they had more faith than my friend that did not expect anything.
Well, he did say he would be pleasantly surprised.
Well, I'm glad he would be pleasantly surprised, and he didn't say he was a prophet, because you would have been in trouble with me this morning, okay?
So you mean you literally would have stood in the line to stone him?
There's a line?
Yeah.
I didn't. There's a line. Good morning, Greg. Quint, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, this is Greg.
No, Quint, it's not Greg.
It's not
Hi,
Greg.
good morning.
Grand Rising,
Rising,
guys.
Thank you, same to you.
Now, I want to share something with the listening audience. I don't know if you, Cortensia or Quint, are paying attention to the way the Son of God, that's the S-U-N, it is now rising on the south. If you get up early at morning, you would notice, if you're paying attention, the sun is now rising on the southern side of the sky or of the hemisphere. Why is this? The SUN is going to the winter solstice on the 23rd of this month, where it's going to be crucified for 3 days, and it's going to rise again back onto the northern hemisphere. Let me repeat this. The risen Savior, the SUN, the Son of Creation, our risen Savior, is going to the winter solstice on the 23rd of December, where it's going to be crucified for 3 days, and it's going to rise again on the northern hemisphere. Now, guys, yesterday I said something, and let me say grand rising to our sister, Cleo, in Connecticut. She was a bit fiery yesterday, but listening to her, I was reminded of what is written in the scripture that said, let your words be seasoned with salt. She was a bit fiery, and, she is entitled to rebut what I'm saying or what I'm sharing. Now, guys, I want you to follow me with something very briefly that I want to share with our listening audience. It's about philosophy, the core question of philosophy. In pursuit of knowledge, metaphysics, reality, and existence. Potentia, listen to what I'm saying carefully. I'm not picking on you because, I sometimes reflect on when you say, oh, I'm not touching that, and whether for fear or whatever, you're not questioning. But question is not being disobedient. Question is to gain knowledge. Metaphysics, reality, and existence. What is real? What is the nature of being? How do you know and prove existence? Ontology, what is the existence of, what is the essence of being, physical, mental, social, or spiritual? Cosmology, origin, and nature of the universe. Mind-body problem. Free will, existence of divine, relationship between the earth and the cosmological. Epistemology of knowledge. What do you know? How do we know what that we know? Let me repeat this. What do you know? How do we know what that we know? What is the nature and scope of knowledge? Subfield. Rationalism, empiricism, skepticism, justification, truth, belief. What is the value and who determines value? What is valuable? Subfield. Ethics, value of relationship with self, others, and nature. Appreciation of beauty and its meaning in life. Logic, reasoning, and argument. When you say, I think, whose thought do you project? Is there a logical flow to argument? Now, I'm reading these things because I am following. I am not seeking. I am recognizing my reality, my realization from all that is written as a benchmark for me, journey. I examine what is placed in a book as a benchmark and by whom. And Cortensia and Quint and the listening public out there. When I examine words, colorful words that are used to captivate an audience or a people, I have come to recognize who wrote the syllabus, who literature, who theology, and what have become psychology on a group of people that have taken them away from who they are, and today we are no longer seeking because we have become complicit. We are stuck. We are stuck in a book, and we does not go outside of the book. When I examine nature, when I examine events that have happened over the years, global events, when I know what was done to my people who have put up resistance in order for their liberty to continue, when I know, Cortensia, what was done within the continent of Africa, the structure that was destroyed, universities, a university in Alexandria, Mesopotamia, and by whom? And these people that have kept the papyruses of my ancestors and now come and give me salvation through brutality and genocide and tell me that a single character died for the sins of the world. How can a people that come to liberate and give me salvation by genocide to my ancestors? All in the name of a God, a deity. Journey is saying the writers or the translators of the Bible, Cortensia, are the gods themselves. A God that kills and order to kill. This is not the creator of everlasting and eternal life. There are so many hints in this book, Cortensia and Quint. I am not the God of the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. I am, Journey is saying, the creator of everlasting life and love for life is not the God in a book. the Creator does not know death. The Creator is everlasting and eternal life, all in its manifestation in what we see on planet Earth. And when we examine nature, guys, Hortensia and Quint, you cannot say one mango tree is the only mango tree that is on this planet. But a mango tree that grow up, and bear in mind that provision was made in all the earth by creation itself before we were formed. Genesis chapter 1 tells us that. Now, the point I'm making is this, guys, follow me. One mango tree grow up, and this is why the Creator said, I give you herb-bearing seeds for meat. Herb-bearing seeds for meat. So if a mango tree grew up when creation began, that mango tree is not around today, but the offspring of the mango tree from the seeds that fell into the earth, others spring up. I hope you guys following the point I'm making here. This is everlasting and eternal life in plants and humanity and animals. This is the Creator that is not the author of confusion, everlasting life. All that came out from this Creator is love and life. There is no ego. There is no low estate. Duality and polarity came when consciousness was split in two, divine feminine and divine masculine. So the source of this is a mirror. The universe is a mirror, and all that we, our emotions, our thoughts, our actions, are reported back to the Creator through earth, air, water, fire, spirit, and our risen Savior, the light of the world, the SUN. And cosmology was brought down into ecology because I just mentioned earlier that the SUN, the Son of God, is going through the winter solstice on the 23rd of this month, where it's going to spend 3 days into the cold, where it's going to be crucified. It happens every year. But those who gave us what we have in a book came upon sacred knowledge, guys. Sacred knowledge.
Journey.
Yes.
You know, when you hear my voice after a long period, I'm admonishing you.
Okay, Quinn, I got you.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna finish up now, Quinn. I just want our people to start to think and analyze and stop seeking. You cannot seek. When you seek, you're going external. Seek from within and recognize that you can learn from nature, because nature is our teacher. The language of the Creator is sound, vibration, and frequency. When spirit became flesh, there had to be a linguistic, guys. And I said earlier that we are under a spell speaking this English language because it was imposed upon us. We are Africans and we are the first. Recognize this, guys. Thanks for hearing me, Quint.
Okay, take care.
All right,
Thanks for
thank
your
you, John.
input. And we're going to take a bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
You found the sound 98.9 winnfm.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This Christmas, make the season brighter with help from TDC Financial Services. Whether it's gifts for the family, a holiday home makeover, or that special celebration you've been dreaming of, our Christmas loan promotion is here to make it happen. Get up to $85,000 unsecured or $100,000 secured with affordable rates, fast approval, and the trusted service you know and love. Apply today at TDC Financial Services on Central Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts, or Main Street, Charlestown, Nevis. TDC Financial Services, your holiday, your loan, your way, where money is made easy.
It's the Horseford's Building and Nevis Centers and Builders Paradise biggest savings weekend of the year. The Builders Big That Weekend Blowout. Get 30% off all discountable in-store items at Horseford's Building and Nevis Centers. And get 25% off all discountable items at Builders Paradise all weekend. Plus, enjoy a 12% VAT discount on that day, Friday, December 12th. On top of these massive savings, unwrap huge deals on tools, tiles, lumber, plumbing, paint, decor, fixtures, and so much more. Unwrap big savings on this builder's Big Fat Weekend Blowout. Thursday, December 11th, that day, Friday, December 12th, and Saturday, December 13th. Build with us at Horseford's Building and Nevis Centers and enjoy everyday low prices at Builders Paradise.
Here are your Horseford's Value Mart IGA Christmas specials.
Running December 11th to December 24th.
Now our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential everyday shredded and chunk cheeses, just $7.99. IGA or essential everyday frozen waffles, just $9.99. Lender's bagels, $12.99. Western oils are $19.99 each. Essential everyday breadcrumbs, $7.49. Arm & Hammer deodorant, $8.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Quaker Oats, regular and quick, $15.99. Mueller's Dry Pasta, $5.99. Essential everyday chunk like tuna, $3.49. Essential everyday salt, plain and iodized, $4.29. Progress Oat Soup, $13.99. Picogo toothpaste, $6.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, root boy. So when we drink, root boy. Why?
And we're back on Island Tea, just about 24 minutes after the hour of 8. For those of you celebrating your birthday, anniversary, your graduation, whatever you're celebrating, please remember to enjoy, be thankful, and be grateful in all the little things that you do. So, Quint, what I was getting was Journey was saying that basically the Bible is written by man, right?
Yeah.
But from my knowledge of it, God inspired man with the words to write the Bible.
Yeah, that's what you folks say.
Well, that's what us folks say.
Yeah, you and Greg.
So
and
you
the Christians
believe
and
that
so forth.
men just took up varying parts of what we know as the Bible and wrote it and came together
I
and put it
believe,
together?
this is my belief, my personal belief. I believe people who were religious, they believed in certain things and they documented them, they put them on scrolls and different, writing material. And over the time, other men came later and got these bits and pieces of information, put them together for their own reason. Right? That is my belief.
Because I don't want to think. This is my perspective as a question to where we get our opinions from. I think it's deep inside of us, taking retrospect, introspection, sitting and thinking that these men thought they were gods, and that the one God that we know of, or the Creator, as Quint refers to him to,
I don't know if it's a him or her. I just said it.
Oh Lord, you see why I don't do these things?
Yeah.
It's not for fair journey. I'm not afraid of anything. You see, I say what I say.
And we do have
sometimes
a
I say,
caller
don't come for
waiting.
me. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody.
Hi.
And greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from the sins and from hell.
Hortensia, you heard that laugh?
Exactly.
Through faith. Yes, through faith.
He's still laughing
God
too.
still alone, according to the word of God alone, and Jesus is the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, as I've said, and as Quint have correctly said, I would be pleasantly surprised, and yes, I'm pleasantly surprised.
Greg, you know how petty I was today? I went back all the way to you on the call on Island T yesterday to make sure you said what you said, you know? That's how petty I was this morning. Yes.
And she decided she was going to be first in the line to pelt the first stone.
I heard, but it's a good thing that I made it known. Hey, I'm not a prophet.
You know?
That's why I tell you. You're lucky you had that disclaimer.
All that I'm doing is just guessing. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, I had no hope of getting anything.
Oh, ye have little faith. Come on. Where's the mustard seed?
Yes. But like I said, you know, I don't know the future, but we all have to wait and for when the time comes to really actually know, you know. So I made sure I said all of those caveats.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I made sure of that. Contentia.
Hi.
I was just looking at you on YouTube, okay? And you have the biggest antlers that I've seen all females have, okay? Yes, you have the most prominent. So I am reasoning now. This is my reasoning, okay? All the reindeers that are pulling Santa's sleigh, they're all females.
Rudolph not a female?
Hello?
Rudolph not a female? You can't say all females?
No, they're all females with male names. Because only the male reindeer have antlers during winter. Okay? So they're all females with reindeers with male names. So I'm guessing that since yours are the most prominent out of all the females I've seen with antlers, that means you Santa's lead reindeer then?
Yeah. Well, I won't be named Rudolph though. So I'll be Hortensia. I'll be the lead one, but I'll be Hortensia.
Yeah, because you know the alpha female, she's more prominent than all the rest females, eh?
Sorta, yeah. Like me, yeah.
Yes. So I'm taking you since the antlers the most prominent. They use the alpha female of all the rest.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Lovely antlers, though. Lovely antlers, very goodly decorated.
Thank you,
Greg. When I see her, I watch. And I decide sometimes I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait and let people like you and Burl and others make the comments.
Tis the season. I promise one of our listeners in Nevis I'll bring back the glasses by Friday because he likes the glasses. So
Yes, the glasses. But I was wondering to myself, does Catens have any antlers?
Yeah, but I've been wearing antlers. Oh, you mean like this? Because I've been wearing the normal ones with the snowman face and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a next one too. Yeah.
Okay.
I like these things for Christmas. When I flew, I wore ties. I wore lit up antlers. Yeah, I used to do it. I just decided.
Yes. They look good on you. They look very good on you.
Thank you.
Look nice, decorated, everything. Yes. So another issue, but concerning the double though, okay? Concerning double, I don't want to rain in anybody's parade. I am thankful for it. I'm thankful that others get that they will be able to buy maybe a turkey, a hammer, and those sort of stuff which they might not have been able to buy if they didn't get it. So I'm very grateful and thankful for that. I'm pleasantly surprised. But I will say this though. I'm not really all that giddy over it. I'm happy over it. And the reason why is this. And I have said it, even up to yesterday, I have said it, and before. The giving of the double salary, I even said I'm all for a triple salary. I even said that. But in a certain context. It must be within a budget where the net result is a net decrease in government spending. Okay? Yes, you get these things, the double, but in the other areas, the decrease in government spending should be such where the whole budget is really a net decrease in government spending and expenses when you calculate it all up. That was not the case with this budget. This budget was more spend, thus making the giving of the double salary to be an extra burden on the economy. Okay? It should have been in the context of a budget that is a net decrease in government spending and expenses.
Yeah. Greg, we have another caller. So,
yes.
Hello, caller.
Yes. Good morning, Brother Quinn. Good morning, Cortentia.
Good morning.
First, I must say, with you and those decoration on your head, I look at you as, you say you don't want to be called Rudolph, but you want to be called Cortentia. But amongst all the reindeers that would have been pulling Santa, I definitely would have been scouting out for you instead of the toys that Santa is bringing.
I tell you.
I love you the way you're looking.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, caller, I was thinking, right? This is why sometimes she comes a little bit late to work. You know what I'm saying?
Hi, no, not at all.
But having said that short, humorous thought there. I didn't listen to the budget yesterday, but I am glad something in terms of the double. I haven't heard it yet. I'm only speculating from what I've heard. I'm glad the people will get some sort of relief that was yawning for since the last administration.
Caller, let me ask you, why didn't you listen to the budget knowing that you have said on numerous occasions you want to be a leader of this country? Why didn't you listen to the budget?
It's not that I neglect it, I ignore it. I was caught up into doing personal things. And when it comes to me on the highway, I rather not use my phone. I rather focus on my journey from point A to point B. But anyway, I will listen to it.
Okay.
It's recorded. Okay. It's not that it's
because we are expecting that you will show some responsibility in terms of being aware of what is happening in an economy that you want to eventually take over.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Yeah. It's not that even if I had listened, I might not even make any comments yet. But what I'm hearing, that part is good, that the people was yearning for, but I'm not going to throw a monkey wrench in the mix. They should have thought of this long time without all these pushback. And this comes from pushback. And to me, all the goodies that might be happening now until election. Okay? And this is what these politicians do and these parties do. They throw in something at the last, which I feel is a political gain for them to get back in power. Because this can change a lot of people's minds.
Well, caller, the rumor is, and let me repeat, the rumor is that next year might be election, sometime next year.
Well, whenever I call, I hope I will be there. I'm in the United States. I'm making whatever pitch and, how shall I say, argument for me to be considered until I be there to face the fire, to do what the necessary qualification is to qualify me to meet my quest. And having said that, I'm saying I hope this situation will be a reality for the people. Then promises are comfort for fools. I will leave it there for others. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for allowing me. Love you, Quinn. Love you, Cortentia. Love every human being. And my love goes out to mostly the petitions and the divisions.
Yeah, well,
Right.
the same to you. Greg, so what do you think about buttering us up for elections next year?
Election.
The
This
following year.
election.
That's the talk that we're hearing. You know that.
That was my guess. That was partly my guess, but it could also come next year. My guess, again, I'm not a prophet, no, son of a prophet. So,
As
but
his
my
disclaimer,
gut
don't
feeling
cry.
is that it most likely will be year after next because I feel like if it do it this year, it's gonna
Not this
look
year.
obvious.
Not this year. You mean the year to
I mean,
come?
sorry, next year.
Yeah.
I don't,
Sorry,
as I
sorry,
said, I honestly don't feel they're going to prematurely throw any election because I think they would have learned from their predecessors not to do nonsense because when you think the people for you, they ain't for you. So, yeah.
And I don't think like I said, my guess is I don't think that they want to make it look so. I think they would give another double salary next year and then call election year after next. That's my guess.
That sounds logical to me. That is logical thinking, but I'm just telling you what's going on out there. Hold a minute. There's another caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, good morning to you guys, man. Good morning to the listeners.
Good morning.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, Quint, I want to kind of widen my scope here this morning, right? I had coined a phrase of late, the battle of the visas. It's very important that we in Sinkis and Nevis pay attention to what's going on in the United States and their policies in relation to immigration. Donald Trump is stopping the legal process. Hortensia, you know, when he was tooting that he's going to stop the illegal migration across the southern border, he is now attacking the legal processes of immigration into the United States. To that caller who says that he is potentially trying to come down and run, he got to pay attention as well. He should not hope he's going to be underground. He already declared he's a candidate. If you declare that you're a candidate and then you're now hoping you're going to be there, it's like you're putting your eyes and pulling out. Are you pulling out?
I was going to mention that afterwards, but I was just letting it simmer.
You cannot tell somebody you're going to do something and then pull it back.
Listen.
Well,
you hear the words that
exactly, hope. I was going to say hope, but I said, let me let him finish up and then I'll get to it, but a call came in.
Maybe he doesn't want to take the risk of coming out and next thing he doesn't win and he can't get back in.
Okay.
Because he has to give up that blue book.
That's what I'm calling in for, because firstly, right, in regards to the immigration policy in the United States, right, persons who have green cards, they are proclaiming that they're only going to allow those persons to come outside of the United States for 90 days. So that means that someone with a green card is not going to be able to be a parliamentarian in St. Kitts and Nevis, because you cannot be in two places at once.
Yep.
And to widen my scope again, okay, if you want to travel out more than 90 days, you're going to have to approach the United States Homeland Security to get permission. They may allow you to take up to 2 years, but they're going to be watching your travel patterns. And Donald Trump has already given the Homeland Border Security, the immigration at the airports, permission already to nab anybody if they so feel that their residency is overseas instead of in the United States. Let me move on again. Second point. I've seen a clip where...
Burl, before you go to the next point, let me ask you, remember at one point you also were saying that you would be, coming to represent here, so...
Burl, don't drop that. Burl, then come in here.
No. No, I never declared I'm going to be a candidate.
Okay,
That's
I just
think
want to be
Well, they
clear.
being a candidate.
I said there's an interest, but I didn't declare yet.
Okay, so
When that happens,
If the I think if the Brian clause changes,
no, the
yes,
Brian
Bull
clause,
is gonna be in it.
no, the
Clear,
Brian clause
clear,
doesn't affect
clear.
him. The Brian clause
No,
doesn't
no,
affect
no.
him, so don't
It's
use
the
that.
legislation,
Yeah,
not the Brian clause.
it's the dual
legislation.
citizenship that affects him.
Yes,
It's-
yes, yes.
But
Friend,
isn't the
I'm
Brian
not
clause a
gonna
dual
take-
citizenship?
No. Brian clause is that you have to be
Different.
born here. But as Chesley Hamilton has says, that is nonsense because we have a national hero who was not born here. So it
Yeah,
shows you how
understood.
these people do things, and man, I don't know what they do. They're thinking when they do these foolish things. Go ahead.
Whatever,
Doyle.
whatever it is, Quint, it needs to be removed because the only thing that is doing it is blocking certain segments of the citizens from making a contribution. We should do things differently than the rest of the area. This is something that they have throughout the OECD states, but we need to remove that legislation. Like I said, my simple analogy is you have a wicketkeeper on your cricket team, I can get a wicketkeeper on my team too. So no matter how you spin it, it's not serving any purpose. And it's just blocking certain people from coming back and make contributions. Anyway, the second point I want to make, right, is this. It's a proclamation again from the United States Immigration Service, January 1st next year.
For Antigua and Barbuda?
Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, and St. Lucia. The 4 islands that has that CBI program in the Caribbean, they're going to stop issuing visas to citizens of those countries.
But
not only those 4 countries in the Caribbean alone, but there's other West African countries that's on that
But
list.
bro, so far I only see Antigua. I don't see anything about St. Kitts.
No, there's 4 of them. They already have the list. It's already there.
But only Antigua. I see.
No, you only seen a response from Gaston Brown yesterday. But guess what? St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, and St. Lucia is on the list already. I took my 2 eyes and I see it.
Yeah, but bro,
It's there.
I was looking at something else with all the those CBI countries being on a list where it's with Norway and a few other countries turning away persons with passports for the CBI program.
Man, this thing is going to get messy unless.
Look, let me
Mm.
interject for a minute here, Burl. The thing about it, you see, look, this could be our saving grace, because our leaders, it seems as if though they will sell us out. They will use this passport thing and just sell and sell and sell and put us in a compromising position. Even though it is a
you're right.
even though it is a hypocrisy, because the United States is selling citizenship by investment. Trump himself has a
The gold
card or whatever. You understand? But it shows you the hypocrisy and the big stick mentality of the superpowers of the world. But like I said, and I'll reiterate, it is a saving grace because our leaders have become lazy. They do not want to go out there anymore and bring investment, long-term investment. They seem to, and I repeat this, they seem to want to sit behind a desk and just sign and sign and sign away our patrimony. And we see that in the SSZ.
Yes. That's why I'm calling this morning. Quinn, well, if that man signed away that Destiny Lands in Nevis, that project, well, we're going to regret that later on. We're going to regret it because this thing that I'm talking about with these visas, that means that our people are going to be confined to St. Kitts and Nevis in our tiny space. We're not going to be able to move from there.
We could go other places.
We could go other places, yes. But most of the people are trying to get to the United States, without a doubt.
Understand? And
and on top of that, we don't want to travel to the other OECD states. We just want to come to America alone. They have Africa that we can travel to. The link between Africa is not there at all. So, man, we're going to get messed up really bad.
Yeah,
And
them
another
people
thing
don't want
is,
us over
we
there.
have to be able to feed our mouths, because if we are confined to our own little space and they stop the shit from coming from Miami.
But what I'm gonna pick up what Hortensia says. We will not be confined to our own space. We will have the freedom to go where we want. But what you're saying is that rather than having the liberty to go to other places, we have put it in our minds. Well, not me, but a lot of people have put it in their minds. A lot of people have put it in their minds that only the United States they need to go, and it is because it is.
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
It is because.
We are. Go ahead.
It is because
I understand what you're saying already.
it is because of that mentality why Trump is doing what he's doing, because he knows that you look at it as the promised land.
Exactly, but he's not going to be in there forever. So he just got a few more years.
Others are not going to be much different to him. It's just that Trump is not subtle. Trump is straight in your face. The others are going to be more subtle, but they're going to be thinking just like him.
Yeah, but I think
the trend is being set right now. You see, Quint, what you just said, right? Listen to this, right? We got freedom to travel everywhere in this world. But we are not, it's in our minds. Our minds is stunted. We are not going elsewhere. We just want to get to the United States. United States is not the only place in the world. Man, I'm going to tell you, bro, I have a cousin right in St. Kitts. Bro, she really blessed her eyes on her aunt, which is my mother. All the time I encouraged her to come over to Nevis. She never did. Man, right after she came, bro, once she came to Nevis, after I put the pressure on her, she came over one time. Quint, right there after that, bro, my mother was gone out to this world, bro. That was the one and only time she blessed her eyes on my mother. That's a shame. we don't even want to intertravel between St. Kitts and Nevis. You know how much people down in St. Kitts that's have their Nevis Street buried over in Nevis? And when last you travel over to Nevis, Quint, yourself?
Well, me, I'm guilty of that, but it's because I don't travel anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't
Quinn's
go
not
anywhere.
interested in going anywhere. I'm trying to get her back on the bucket list that I'm making.
So Quint.
Yeah.
So Quint, check this out, right? We can really do good if we do something different than other places. You see what you said earlier? You might be, what do you call that?
A blessing, our saving, our saving grace.
Yeah, you might be our savior, right? Hear this joke now. The savior is really can be our lands that these politicians are trying to give away.
That is it.
This is it's a totally bad move. Trust me on that. We're gonna need our lands. Our lands are limited. Man, the people in St. Kitts and Nevis underground, bro, you all got to get up and really protest against this stuff.
And you know something, Burl? And you know something, Burl? We sit down casually, we in this present time, casually sit down and we say things in our minds, and maybe to each other we say, well, if they want to do that. And our children and children, if this thing goes into place, they're gonna curse the day that we did it. Because because when they in the future time realize that they're surrounded by land owned by other people and they don't have a chance to own land, they're gonna despise us for doing this. I do not understand. I do not understand for the life of me why our leaders cannot see that to sell passports for people to come and inhabit large portions of our land simultaneously is a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a bad thing from the get-go. I wasn't around then, right? But I understood that people was warning them back then, especially the Rasta men, very conscious.
Excuse me.
They ignore them and see where it led right now. So a lot of the stuff, like unconventional stuff, which is like the passports, the CBI program, all of that type of stuff that they got into, it was all seems to be detrimental to the Federation. But they keep continuing down that line. That Destiny Project that's to come for Nevis, man, that's potentially, it cannot get no worse than that. because now we gone to the land. What else are you going to sell out? Whenever somebody falls into desperation, they will sell their couch, they will sell their jewelry, they will sell their car. Maybe they might even go as far as selling their house. But whatever, when you get up to the real estate, you see Donald Trump being the mogul in realtor, but he's been a failure himself. With all the
But
that might not be a good example.
Let's use Donald Trump as an example and show you what will happen to us. What will happen to us and our offspring in the future. Donald Trump comes from a family who owned a lot of properties, and they are so prejudiced that they do not. There's a history there that show they do not want to sell their properties or lease their properties or rent their properties to black people.
And that's a fact.
You understand? So imagine down the line, you have big tracts of land on Nevis, big tracts of land on St. Kitts, because don't kid yourself, it's going to happen down here too. And these big tracts of lands are owned by other individuals than us. Don't you think that depending on their mentality that they're going to be discriminatory in terms of who they're going to rent and who they're going to lease and the prices that they're going to jack up to make sure that you are not able to rent or lease their property?
Yes, that's correct. When Four Seasons came to Nevis, the real estate skyrocketed. When if destiny is to come, bro, destiny is on steroids. If destiny is to come, man, I want somebody down in Nevis, man, to get on the phone right now, a working person, and tell me how easy or how difficult for them to buy a plot of land in Nevis, 70 by 70, 70 by 100. Right now, much less when destiny comes. Man, I wish I had a magic wand that I can wave in that destiny project and let me see the ramifications right in front of our eyes right now. Because when the people that was started was in when the Rasta man them was saying don't get into selling their passports and they still get into it, you see where we at right now? Look, how much revenue is coming in from the CBI? It fell off pretty badly. You know what I mean?
Imagine our leader, even in his recent budget, you hear him praising about how he gave some lands to people in, I think it's in the village area, who were squatters, and eventually they own lands. And in one breath he's saying, you deserve the land, you're not supposed to be squatters. But in another breath, large tracts of land you want to give to foreigners. Now we're not saying that foreigners cannot get lands here, but let foreigners come, and if they see a piece of land, they say, look, Cartensia, I like that piece of land, am I able to buy it? And Cartensia make that decision, but not give them square miles of our land and decide that they're going to, don't do that.
You see, Quint, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis should not be fooled. Words are very manipulative. You see these cell phones we're walking around with? We are not really the owners of these cell phones. We are just paying the bill. You see, those same tracts of land where those squatters got them deeds on now, they got the deeds and now they got to go pay them taxes. But guess what? We gonna get those little tracts of land and pay the taxes to hold up the big conglomerates them who are not paying any taxes.
Yeah, well, you didn't hear when our Attorney General came in and he said this special agreement where they're going to be exempt from this and exempt from that, and they're going to be, I mean, come on, man. I mean.
And on top of that, we're going to stay confined to the villages. So the tracts of land outside the villages is going to be out of reach for the working class people.
Anyway, we're due a commercial break, so, we're going to have to take that.
Let me give me 10 seconds. You see, I'm going to just do this like this on conclusion. I'm calling out the Prime Minister and the Premier to stop this thing and take a look at it again. And I'll leave it there, man. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, girl.
Greg, any final words?
Let me say this. Let me say this. And another thing, one of the number of reasons why the cost of living is so high today and life is getting harder and harder is because of all of these continuous growing government expenses and spending, including the giving out of double salaries and that sort of stuff, in the context of an increase in government spending rather than in the context of a decrease in government spending. And I think McMahon is correct. I think that them budget speech does be too long. They need to cut down on the timing. And that's basically it for now. You're having the other program after this?
No, you don't. You think I need a rest?
Okay. Okay. Take care.
Yeah.
God bless. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's take that bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
What are you doing?
She said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a root boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Root boy. Why?
St. Kitts and Nevis, get ready, because this December, Horsefoods is about to drop it. Yes, Horsefoods is dropping prices like never before with 2 massive 3-day VAT discount weekend sales. Thursday, December 11th, that day Friday, December 12th, and Saturday, December 13th. Then we drop it again on Thursday, December 18th, Friday, December 19th, and that day, Saturday, December 20th. Drop it. We're dropping prices with 30% off all in-store items at Horsefoods Building and Nevis Centers, 25% off store-wide at Builders Paradise, 25% off store-wide at Horsefoods Automotive Accessories and Spares, 25% off Horsefoods Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. And on VAT days, we drop it even more with an extra 12% off VAT on top of everything. That's right, 30% off here, 25% off there. That discount everywhere. If it's savings, Horsefoods will drop it. 2 weekends, 6 days, unreal savings. December 11th through 13th and December 18th through 20th. When the prices drop, you shop. Horsefoods, where we drop it so you can save big.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitamalt bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitamalt bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitamalt bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean, keep it green. Vitamalt bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.
Bigger wins, better deals, Christmas joy is here. At Ram Supermarket, we are also full of festive cheer this year. Better prices, bigger wins, 6 drawers full of cheer. The good food people love to give, that's why we share our cheer.
It's so easy to win. Just shop at any Ram Supermarket location, spend $200 or more weekly, drop your receipt in the entry box, and you can win $500 every week in December. So save big, win bigger, and celebrate this season with Rams. Happy holidays from Rams, the good food people.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
And we are back on Island T, and it's 9 a.m. on your hump day, Wednesday morning. And as we continue along, I would like to just touch on a few points of the response from the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda. As I said, I didn't see us on this list just yet, but as Beryl say, we are probably on it. And most times when certain folks say things, they eventually rear their heads. So I'm going to believe what Pearl said this morning. So in response to what to the President of the U.S. Proclamation, the Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister has responded. He said the government of Antigua and Barbuda has taken careful note of a proclamation issued by the government of the United States, suspending with effect from 12:01 a.m. on the 1st of January 2026. What a way to start a new year for persons who have aspirations of going to the U.S. The issuance of United States visas to nationals of Antigua and Barbuda. We are deeply disappointed that Antigua and Barbuda has been included in this proclamation on the stated ground that our citizen by investment program has historically operated without a residency requirement. That assertion does not reflect the present reality of our laws. Over the past year, Antigua and Barbuda has worked closely and constructively with several departments. We have a caller?
Yeah.
Okay, caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T.
Yes, good morning, guys. How are you guys today?
Good.
We're
Yourself?
fine. And you?
I'm good. I'm cleaning my house. Since yesterday, I'm cleaning Roy.
I'm glad we got you to take a break.
No. This thing, right, about what the president do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time that the Caribbean, and I keep saying it, it's time now the Caribbean come together. You see, just like how he wants to think visa, we should put that America need a visa to come in our borders also. Just like how you want to stop people from coming in and make it hard for them to come in or whatever. Why is it that the Caribbean can't band together and say, okay, but we also demand that you have a visa? Because and I keep saying it, who appointed America watcher over the world? I mean, but they could just come in other people's country without any visa or anything. How you spell that? Don't you think it's time that the Caribbean come together and say, look, you need a visa to come in our country too?
Yeah, but the Caribbean leaders, they are not learning. I mean, in the old days when we had old people, old leaders, they saw the importance of unity, but then there was some and this is why we have the big island, small island disparity.
Yep.
Those in the bigger islands felt we don't need you small island people,
Yep.
and so they segregated themselves, and now we are in this predicament that we're in.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I think Kenya the other day slapped a visa on them. You need a visa to come in.
A lot of African countries.
Yeah, a number of African countries are slapping. They
visas
call it a reciprocal arrangement, which reciprocal mean whatever you do to me, I do to you. Yeah.
And exactly, and that's what we need to do in the Caribbean. We need to do the same thing. Sometimes you got to bring some people down off the high horse. Sometimes I tell myself, I wish when my father came up this side, he had go Canada.
Hey, remember Canada restricted us first. Remember Canada did today for tomorrow. For Antigua especially, when I was living there. Canada said, don't come tomorrow. Your visas, your freeness is up. Listen, when I flew, I took so many visas to Trinidad for people to get to Canada. They just told them to contact the airline, let the airline know of the situation and see how best they can help them. But today for tomorrow, it happened to Antigua. I know they gave us here in St. Kitts a couple weeks.
But here's the point. I'm glad Cartensia brought that up. Canada is so big. The population of Canada is a small little place on Canada. Canada have massive land. And Canada was still saying we don't want any kind of citizens coming here.
Canada
and we small little dot on the map, opening up and selling out we land. I mean, does that make any sense?
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And like you said, it seems like our leaders, they have no vision. All they think about, I think they just think about their pockets and their family pockets, and as long as they have made it and they're up there, they really don't care what happened to the people of the country, which is sad. Because I see Jew got a big smile on his face when he doing budget. And a lot of the thing is just politicking, grandstanding, because Quincy he talking about, oh, he gives some people land, like they're supposed to be, like indebted to him, or you give them a little piece of land, but y'all giving away tons of land. It's like just give them the crumbs, and they're supposed to be happy because they get a little piece of the crumb.
And mind, they were living on these lands for a long time, eh? For a long time, which means that they are entitled to it. You understand?
Exactly. That means they don't develop the land.
Yeah. But here you have people who just want to come and just take a big chunk of our patrimony. Let me make sure I use that word. A big chunk of our patrimony who haven't resided, haven't contributed, and we were hearing how they're going to contribute to hospital, contribute to this, contribute to that, and next thing we hear, they're going to be depending on the passport citizenship by investment to make their money. So I told you all, if it looks too good to be true, it is likely too good to be true.
If it's a duck, it's a duck, right? Quint, they're going to quack. and they could only put 10 but for so long, you know. You realize that? You can only fool people but for so long. Because these people don't have SKN best interest at heart. They want to come in to take over and push you out. And it's time for our leaders to open their big eye and realize what is going on in the world. And matter of fact, Quint, a lot of people don't, again, I'm going to go to the Bible. The Bible talk about there's coming a time when everybody going to run. And everybody going to run back to where they come from. And that's what them people there, where we going to run to?
Yeah.
No way. Because if Trump is putting us out, where we going to run to when you put them to take over our country? Where we going to run to?
Yeah. I guess Booby Island will become prime real estate.
Only then he gonna sink. Only then he gonna sink with all of us on it. Only then he gonna move.
Booby Island can hold all of us.
By the time two of us go on there, that's enough. And I mean two of us standing up on there, that's enough. Only then he gonna sink, Leo. Thank you. You too. I was St. Lucia has the lowest VAT rate, Quint, 12.5%.
Look how we're all, as I was saying to Cortensia, look how we're all striving to decide who has the lowest VAT rate or when we're going to get VAT days. And we didn't have this before our leaders, because of their mismanagement of the budget and that, put us in this predicament, you know. They put us in this predicament. Prior to that, we didn't know a thing about that. We heard about it in places like St. Martin and a few other places, but we didn't know about it. And then, bam!
But their VAT is still low, because St. Martin VAT is 5%.
Yeah, it was sprung on us, and it was sprung on us high, because we wind up with leaders who look like us, but they don't care about us. You understand? I mean, look, you think I'm being harsh? I'm being honest. They look like us, but they don't care about us. So when they mismanage our economy, and then they sit down in front of people like the World Bank and the IMF, and the IMF says, well, we recommend that you put a 17% VAT or whatever, they say, well, they smile. They smile to Massa and they say, Massa, no problem, you know. Massa, we gonna do it, you know. We gonna do it, Massa. And they drop VAT on us. And now, every year we're looking for 3 VAT days and all that kind of stuff to get a respite we shouldn't have had in the first place.
But do you think if the opposition gets back in, right? Because the talk is they got out because of the implosion of Team Unity, right? You think they're going to take down their pay, or they're going to keep the same pay that this administration has now?
I don't think, you're a wishful thinker. You have ever heard of any leaders decreasing their pay?
I'm just saying because the fact that, and this is the thing, that's why I don't go for politicians because they all talk a good talk, and then when they get in there, it's just something totally different.
Hello, caller.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Lots of issues to deal with this morning.
Plenty.
One of them being, I don't know if you saw the report about the JetBlue flight from Aruba en route to, I think it was JFK, that had a close encounter with a U.S. military aircraft.
No. When was that?
I think it was yesterday. The pilot actually reported it.
Oh, wow.
And the Pentagon is apparently looking into it. So the Southern Command is looking into it.
And
but
do you have any idea to what extent it was? What kind of an encounter?
The pilot actually radioed the control tower saying that they had to stop their climb because they were heading straight for that. I think it was a U.S. tanker. It was a large plane.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. They had to stop their climb. And that actually was the first incident. There was a second incident with a private jet.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when and that is why when we talk about we should maintain a zone of peace.
That is what we're saying.
These kinds of things happening.
That is what we're saying.
Yeah.
You see?
You know, I mean,
and Mr. McMahon, I'm glad you did that because I don't know. I have some clips here, and I was trying to avoid us trying to get too much into these other things at this time of the year. But your point brings it home that, look, we have got to be aware of what is happening in our proximity, and it could only wind up in a disaster. The U.S. just feels they can come into anybody's airspace and do as they like. We have traffic lanes that our air traffic guidance people have to control, and they're just feeling they can just disrupt, and this is what is going to cause problems.
Yeah, and the thing is, the pilot, the JetBlue pilot said the plane, the military aircraft wasn't painted, didn't have its transponder on. Painted, I guess,
I'm looking at that.
It's detectable.
Yeah.
Right.
The air traffic controllers.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. The air traffic controllers cannot do their job if you're just all up in their space.
Not even if you're just all up in their space. If they don't know that you're in their space.
But that is what I mean.
That person
you're just all up in their space without letting them know you're in their space because you feel that you are the world superpower.
They probably say that they issued what do you call it? Directive. I would call it a directive that you got to be careful when you're using the airspace close to Venezuela. So, but that in itself, I don't know about the legality of that.
No, there's no real legality because there are certain world bodies that have to come together to make these decisions. But the U.S. is doing this on its own.
But there's very little pushback. So that's the problem. But I mean that can't be good for tourism in the area.
Well,
I mean, you know,
because Curacao is just off Venezuela too.
I was down that area a couple of weeks ago, and I thought I might have been paranoid because all the while flying there from Panama to Aruba, and thinking, I was thinking, suppose a stray missile hit the plane.
Oh Lord,
when in fact a collision could also happen.
No, we don't want that at all.
So the point is, I don't know the U.S. The Caribbean leaders, to me, should have been more strident about the fact that these kind of military stuff is not good for our tourism, which we depend on. Okay, I don't think they were strident enough.
Mr. McMahon, hear this. When Trump and Hexet and whoever decided to change the title from the defense to war, that was illegal because Congress is the only body that is supposed to decide when you're going to be in war and that kind of stuff. So what they're doing down here, if you listen to the people in Congress, they're saying we did not sanction this. For instance, when they bomb those boats and they're saying that they're in war, Congress is saying, no, we did not sanction this. So it's murder because when you're in war, you have certain rules of engagement that would entitle you, sort of cover you if you kill people, but you're not in war.
Well, the thing is, again on the news this morning, you had, I think it's White House Chief of Staff, or some big position in the White House, actually declaring that Trump wants, going to keep pressure on Venezuela until they cry uncle, meaning until he surrenders and leaves. Okay? I mean,
But
argue.
But that, Mr. McMahon, is only propaganda because they know the real reality. The reality, look, people don't understand what is happening in the world, you know, right? Look, anyway, the reality is that right now America is panicking. America is panicking because America has realized, are you aware that Congress recently sent a paper to, it has been leaked that China has surpassed the United States in relation to its armed forces and the way it can put out ships and the way it can create military, everything and so forth. Are you aware of that?
I'm not sure about that. I think that the U.S. is still very much.
That's what you feel. That's what you feel. Look,
there was a report on that. What you're talking about, Quinn?
Yes. Look, Mr. McMahon is reluctant to understand that what the U.S. is doing isn't just they're panicking.
Well, I would not say they're panicking. They have no reason at this point to panic.
That's what you feel.
Certainly not about military might.
Okay.
Because
China has surpassed the United States in military power.
Hold a second and listen to this clip.
China has surpassed the United States in military power across multiple critical domains. Not in some distant future scenario, not in theoretical war games. Right now, today. That's what the leaked Pentagon assessment says in language so blunt, so unambiguous that even the most optimistic defense analysts can't spin it anymore. I'm John Mearsheimer, and what happens next will determine whether we stumble into a catastrophic war or manage this transition without destroying everything we've built. The balance has shifted, and the American military establishment just admitted what I've been warning about for over 2 decades. The document appeared on my desk, classified Pentagon assessment marked for internal distribution only. The title alone should terrify anyone who understands geopolitics. Comparative Military Capability Analysis, United States versus People's Republic of China, 2024 update. Buried in the executive summary sits the sentence that changes everything. In aggregate assessment across naval tonnage, missile inventory, industrial production capacity, and regional force projection, Chinese military capabilities now exceed United States capabilities in Indo-Pacific theater operations. This isn't Chinese propaganda. This is our own military establishment admitting we've lost the edge in the region that matters most. But here's what should terrify you even more. This assessment only measures current capabilities. It doesn't account for trajectory, for the fact that China's military modernization is accelerating while ours stagnates. The gap isn't closing, it's widening. Every month, China launches more warships than some nations possess in their entire navy. Every year, Chinese defense industrial capacity expands while American shipyards close. We're not just behind, we're falling further behind, and the Pentagon knows it. I predicted this moment in 2001 when I published The Tragedy of Great Power Politics. The core argument was straightforward. When a nation possesses the economic capacity to build military power, it will build military power, not because its leaders are evil, but because the international system is anarchic. There's no world government to protect you. In anarchy, the only guarantee of survival is power. China understands this. While American policymakers were fantasizing about the end of history, about China becoming a responsible stakeholder in a liberal international order, Beijing was doing exactly what realist theory predicted, converting economic growth into military capability. And now, 23 years after I warned this would happen, the Pentagon confirms it has happened. The reaction to my warnings back then was predictable. They called me a warmonger. They said I was underestimating American exceptionalism. Thomas Friedman wrote that China would be too busy making money to build a threatening military. Even realist colleagues suggested I was being too pessimistic. They were all wrong, not because they lacked intelligence, but because they refused to accept the fundamental logic of international politics. Great powers compete, rising powers challenge, and declining hegemons either adapt or fall. We chose not to adapt. Let me show you exactly how dire this situation has become. The United States Navy currently operates approximately 290 ships. China's People's Liberation Army Navy operates over 370 ships. But raw numbers don't tell the full story. China is building warships at a pace we cannot match. In 2023 alone, China launched more naval tonnage than the entire British Royal Navy possesses. Chinese shipyards can produce destroyers in 18 months, while American shipyards take 4 to 5 years, and it gets worse. Chinese shipbuilding capacity is approximately 230 times larger than American capacity. Not 230%, 230 times. If war broke out tomorrow and both sides began emergency naval construction, China could replace losses at a rate we couldn't begin to match. Now look at missiles, the weapon system that will likely determine the outcome of any Indo-Pacific conflict. The Pentagon assessment estimates China possesses over 2,000 ground-based intermediate and medium-range ballistic and cruise missiles. The United States, until recently, possessed 0 because we were bound by treaty while China never signed it. China's missiles are specifically designed to target American vulnerabilities, carrier strike groups, forward bases, logistics hubs. In simulation after simulation, American forces struggle to operate effectively against layered Chinese missile defenses. The carrier battle groups that have projected American power for 70 years are now floating targets in a Chinese missile engagement zone. The industrial dimension is even more concerning. Modern warfare is ultimately about who can produce more weapons faster than the other side can destroy them. The United States has offshored its manufacturing base over 40 years. China has become the world's factory. Chinese rare earth mineral processing gives them control over materials essential for advanced weapons. If war came, if supply chains were disrupted, which nation could sustain military production? The Pentagon assessment answers clearly. China's industrial mobilization potential exceeds ours by margins that make World War II comparisons seem quaint. But the most damning section isn't about hardware, it's about commitment. The assessment notes that for China, preventing Taiwan independence is a core national interest worth unlimited sacrifice. For the United States, defending Taiwan is important but must be weighed against other global commitments and domestic political constraints. In plain English, the Pentagon is saying China cares more about Taiwan than we do. And in great power conflicts, the side that cares more usually wins. This is the same dynamic that doomed us in Vietnam and Afghanistan. Now we face that asymmetry against a peer competitor with military capabilities that match or exceed our own. Let me be absolutely clear. I take no pleasure in being proven right. I would have preferred to be wrong. But international relations doesn't care about our preferences. It operates according to structural logic that rewards realism and punishes wishful thinking. For 23 years, American foreign policy has been built on wishful thinking. We assumed China would democratize as it grew wealthy. Wrong. We assumed economic interdependence would prevent military competition. Wrong. We assumed American technological superiority was permanent. Wrong. And now the bill has come due. Someone inside the defense establishment wanted Americans to understand the reality their leaders have been hiding. The nightmare scenario I outlined in The Tragedy of Great Power Politics is no longer a prediction. It's documented reality.
And I let that play in its entirety because this is an analysis. You understand? So we can. This is why I keep saying. We are living in a world where we're just feeling that America is the be all and the end all, and the world is changing rapidly.
Rapidly. But Quinn, the thing what Mr. McMahon was talking about.
Hold on, Mr. McMahon. Go ahead.
What Mr. McMahon was talking about, I was to bring that up. It was a JetBlue jet. And it was what's scary about that is that when they call it in, it was not on the radar, so Tower couldn't even tell them anything because it was not on the radar. They couldn't see it. So can you imagine how much people's life could have been lost?
Boy.
I mean, that is a scary place to be in, because then imagine you pull up and you're going up, right? And all of a sudden this aircraft appear in front of you.
Yep. But here,
you found getting, and the starting that they couldn't get in touch with them.
Hold on, Cleo, hold on.
Sir, we just had traffic pass directly in front of us within 5 miles of us, maybe 2 or 3 miles, but it was an air-to-air refueler from the United States Air Force, and he was at our altitude. We had to stop our climb. Confirm the traffic was at your altitude. They're heading off to the northeast right now. They passed directly in our flight path. We had to stop our climb. They are not painting. They don't have their transponder turned on. It's outrageous.
Outrageous.
Can you imagine how scary that is?
Yeah. Because if
That's
they had their
terrifying.
transponder on as well, JetBlue could have probably picked them up.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. McMahon. You were
Anyway,
saying
guys,
it's
I'll continue listening.
You were saying it's an analysis, Mr. McMahon. Go ahead.
Yes, it's an analysis, but to me it sounds more alarmist than anything.
But look, this analysis. Wait, I'm going to let you continue. This analysis is coming because this individual has analyzed the past, the present, and the projection coming from the what Congress has released to the government. You understand? So it is an analysis coming out of fantasy. It is analysis of real happenings. You notice he said, I don't take pleasure in being proven right. Go ahead. Make your point now.
Well, most analysts would want to say that they're right. But the fact is, right, you look at what's happening in the Ukraine war, for instance. They used to say the same thing about Russia, okay? But little Ukraine, little meaning relatively speaking, is giving Russia a problem.
You think so?
Okay?
I disagree with you.
Because well, obviously, if Russia escalate to nuclear weapons, Ukraine is gone. But what I'm saying.
But apart from that, Russia is gradually taking more and more of Ukraine's territory. That is what Russia is doing.
Yeah, but it's at a slow it's at a slow pace.
And you know why it's at a slow pace?
The region that they want, the Donbass region.
You know why it's at a slow pace? You know why it's at a slow pace? Because see, the world has been watching, and the world has learned from the past. America and Europe, in terms of NATO, wants Putin to show his hand by using and showing all of his military might. You understand? In this global present, you don't do that. You always keep your enemies guessing They want to know all that you have. What they want to see if they can divide Russia all over. Russia here, Russia there, Russia there. But at the same time, that is what is happening to the U.S. U.S. has more bases than anybody else. They're dispersed all over the place. And because they're dispersed all over the place, if they were to centralize and use force, they're going to find themselves in a problem. They're going to have to start disbanding those places all over. So Russia is using strategy. Russia is letting you suffer slowly. And you see what is happening to Europe? Europe is going and begging back Russia to sell them crude and other stuff, even though they were telling the world, oh, we're gonna disband, they use every loophole to make sure that they get what they need. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Europeans are also freezing Russia's assets and plan to use it to help Ukraine with its war.
Yeah.
Okay? So it goes both ways, right? The thing
it doesn't go both ways.
I have to be quite honest.
It doesn't go. It does
I am
not.
more concerned with down in this region.
I agree.
Right? And I'm saying, because they're going to fight it out up there anyhow, right? To me, what the U.S. have to look out for up there is an alliance between Russia and China, because that would be a game changer. And I at the back of my mind, I have this sneaky feeling that these guys are talking behind the scenes to divvy up the world, divide up the world, so that over in this region, unmistakably American, don't interfere in my region. Over in the Pacific, poor Taiwan, I think they're going to be in for it eventually.
Yeah, they will be.
That's China's region. Don't interfere with over there. I honestly feel that that's what's going on here. And so what I'm saying is that right now we have this existential threat with Venezuela and U.S. hostilities. And I am still saying that our leaders in the region, rather than sitting back, can do more to de-escalate the situation. You know, to have a political or diplomatic solution. One that, for instance, would involve Maduro leaving, because it is clear that the U.S. is not going to stop until Maduro leaves.
I don't think that Maduro is going to leave, because again, Mr. McMahon, China. Listen.
The quarter of the Navy over in that area, you know, you think they're going to deploy that much assets and just withdraw it for
this
nothing?
And this is a question I've asked Mr. McMahon, and here is it. Now that they have done it, because Trump is a fool, and Hexet does not have any real military background. They do not understand the real art of war. So they did things in terms of passion and emotion. Let's show this big force, and we're going to go down there, and Maduro is going to capitulate. And they did that. But here's the big thing. China has interest in Venezuela. And
that's what I'm saying. I don't care what interest they have there. I believe they have negotiated behind the scenes that, okay, I'm not going to touch your interests, China, okay, but Maduro has to go. Our companies, it's in our region,
that's what
our sphere of the world,
Mr. McMahon,
Mr. McMahon. Our oil companies are the ones who should be benefiting most from this. Leave us be, and we leave you all be over in your region of the world.
But you're saying that...
I honestly feel that. And I'm saying that our leaders should try to convince Maduro, even at this stage, right, to exit, to actually say that they're going to have fresh elections there, and let him name a candidate other than himself who he thinks might be less of a U.S. lackey, because obviously the lady there, Maria, whatever her name is, she's weak. She's not a strong person. She's just going to let the U.S. roll over her.
But that's who they want. That's who they want.
Candidate.
That's who they want, and that's who they will put.
But they will only put it if as the State Department, not the State Department, the White House person said that Maduro cry uncle. I'm saying that there should be another way out where Maduro leaves, we call fresh elections, have an elections where, because yes, that
why should Maduro leave? Why should Maduro?
Somebody.
Mr. McMahon, why should Maduro leave? Give me your legitimate reason.
For one thing, the election was reputedly rigged.
Oh,
right?
That's what you say.
No. But that's what I'm saying. If you have international observers who oversee fresh elections there, okay?
What about the election in the Ukraine?
What about it?
Why is he not calling election? Why is the world quiet that the election is overdue, but they're using this thing that they're in war, that he is not going to have an election? Then you hear he's going to have an election. It's a double standard. It's a blatant hypocrisy. You want to go down and say Maduro needs to step out, but you have a man of
hostilities in our region, right? And I'm suggesting a way to avoid it. Okay? Like I said, let Europe and them fight out the thing. They're always, they're the cause of all kind of wars. World wars, colonialism, I'm not so much interested
and your way, Mr. McMahon, of relieving the war, which I agree with you, we don't want war down here, but your way of relieving the war is to let the United States continue with its hegemony in our region?
No, listen to me. No.
But that is what is going to happen.
Wait. But Quint, what I'm saying is, you got to be practical. You cannot avoid U.S. hegemony. You have to learn to manage it. Okay? You have to be smart, right? You see what the U.S. just, listen, you know why I suspect Antigua got on that list with Dominica and who else?
And we,
right?
I understand we are also on the list.
Well, okay. I'm not so sure. Well, I'd wait for the official thing about that.
It's funny how, and it shows our fragmentation. It's funny how we're so quick to say Antigua, but when we hear St. Kitts Nevis, all of us say, well, let's wait until, why do you think Antigua is they're going to just pick out Antigua and put Antigua on its own?
But I didn't see, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm not surprised if Antigua was put on that list, because remember, Antigua actually wrote to the State Department, an official letter, Gaston Brown did, basically saying that there should be the issues down here should be resolved diplomatically, and they don't want no war. It should remain a zone of peace.
And what was wrong with that?
I don't think we did that.
And what was wrong with that? So you see, Mr. McMahon,
nothing was wrong with it. But what I'm saying is, the U.S. will exert its hegemony anyhow by exerting pressure on individual nations in the region, by using this visiting, because they know how we like to go to the United States,
And so, Mr. McMahon,
we'd actually pressure any government, just like how, the big issue was made when Canada dropped its visa-free access.
Yeah.
Everybody was up in arms against the government, right? We're like that. Okay, so what I'm saying is, the U.S. is going to be hegemonic anyway. We can't do anything about that, but we certainly can manage our diplomatic relations better than we've been doing.
How can we, Mr. McMahon? Mr. McMahon, how can we?
Why can't a high-level delegation consisting of Caribbean leaders go to Venezuela, right, and encourage Maduro to leave? Okay, since that's a big issue. Why put your country to the ringers for one man?
Mr.
Does that make
McMahon.
sense?
Mr. McMahon.
Let me interject here just for a quick
that makes sense,
second.
Chris.
I was just having a conversation with someone too, and I realized that Dominica is on that list too. And the conclusion of that, or the synopsis of that little thing, is that those countries both speak out about the Venezuela stuff.
Yeah, that is
So
what
that's
Mr.
why they-
McMahon was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But Mr. McMahon, let me also interject. Mr. McMahon, you've been speaking a while. Let me say this. So what you're saying is, and I want everybody, I want the wider audience to hear this. What Mr. McMahon is saying, we in the region must capitulate. We must go and we must tell Maduro, step down. Having done that, what do you think will happen if the U.S. decides it wants a Kittian government to step down, or it wants an Antigua government to step down in the future, or for whatever reason it decides that Trinidad and Tobago is running drugs, and they just decide that you're a zone of bringing drugs into their country, and they decide that you see what is going to happen?
But what I'm saying, Quinn, it's going to happen anyway.
Oh. So this is like saying.
It will happen anyway.
So this is like this
because,
is why.
Because we
look. This is why, Mr. McMahon.
Quinn,
Mr.
would you pit an ant against an elephant?
Mr. McMahon, let me use this example. This is why I say we as a black people, we will not be in this position that we were in if our foreparents had decided we are slaves, we are being whipped, we are being raped, we are being hung, we are being burnt alive, and it's going to happen anyway, and we are going to give in. We made sure that those who were, even if it means all we could do is to bite, kick, pinch, whatever, we would make them feel some. Look, you think we are free because they loved us, they wanted to give us, they had a price to pay. And what I'm saying, we cannot.
Timing was also relevant.
Look, right now.
Timing was also relevant. Point being suicidal.
We're not being suicidal. What the Caribbean governments need to do, should have done long ago, is rather than rather than one or two of the islands coming out, I told you this was going to happen. I told you rather than one or two of the islands coming out and saying it, every one of them should have said it together. What is the U.S. going to do? They say we're in their backyard. So every one of you, what are they going to do? Come and decide that all of us are going to. And here's the other thing that we have in our favor. When elephants fight, ants get trampled, I agree. But sometimes elephants don't fight because elephants look at each other and they know that they can put severe harm on each other to the extent that one decides I'm going to step away and the other one decides I'm going to step away. So let the United States of America be faced with what it has to face, because let me tell you, China doesn't have any little bit of interest in Venezuela. Venezuela has one of the biggest oil resources
China
in the
is gonna
world.
back down in this area.
That's what you feel.
I'm telling you, China is going to back down in this area.
Why would they back down, though?
Why you think they're not even calling a meeting of the UN Security Council?
Mr. McMahon,
China is watching what the US do and say, okay, you can do that in your area, that's fine. I'm going for Taiwan.
No, that's what you're thinking. But you see, the world is changing. The kind of geopolitics that governed before, it's not going to be the same in the future. And China, things are happening with China, things are happening with Russia, right in our region. Why do you think it is that you send your biggest warship, your biggest aircraft carrier in our region, and you're still out there doing little cockamamie little things? Why?
They're making a point. This is our region. Listen, after what happened, talking history, after what happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis, there is no way that any American president is going to allow any other superpower to come in this region and flex the muscle. No way. I'm telling you.
Well,
Can't happen.
Mr. McMahon, I respect your opinion, but you and I differ on this. The time and the future will see how it plays out. You may be right, and I may be wrong, but I feel honestly that I am right and you are wrong, but only time will show who is right and who is wrong.
But in the final analysis, I'm still disappointed with our leaders. Like I said, they should have tried to diffuse the whole situation much earlier than now.
Yes.
Okay. And they could have done so by encouraging majority to leave.
I don't agree with you on that.
Who is less sycophantic than Maria, who has Venezuelan sovereignty at heart and so on.
So why you don't think she has it at heart?
Nah.
Okay.
Hold a second, Mr. McMahon. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I just want to make a statement. You see the difference between China and America, right? China, they work with their mouth closed.
That's
America,
what they do.
They broadcast everything. And I always used to say, how stupid can you be? But I think the enemy, them don't have TV or news stations watching and listening.
Yeah.
America will broadcast everything it's planned to do. China and those places, they work with their mouth closed.
Russia too.
Yeah, you don't see them. You don't know they're coming until you see them.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So they might be very well there in Venezuela, working behind the scene. You don't know what they're doing because they don't broadcast like America.
The U.S. is doing that too, you know. They openly declare that the CIA is down there.
Yeah, so and two of them were captured in Venezuela so far, so.
Anyway, guys, I continue listen.
Yeah.
Anyway, it boiled down to Venezuela. There were other stuff. But anyway,
Mr. McMahon, you understand the importance of America taking over Venezuela's oil exclusively as their own, the largest oil reserve. You understand the importance of that?
Of course.
Okay.
That is why you think they're down there.
Okay.
No, I mean nobody thought that this was about any drugs and drug smuggling. Nobody thought this was about it. Okay. I mean, if you get your hands on because Venezuela has the largest reserves, even more than Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
You get your hands on that. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
And you understand the tyrannical might that America will use against the rest of the world if that happens?
You mean if they get their hands on the oil?
Yes. You see, people don't look at the bigger picture, you know. People live in this romanticized. People live in this romanticized world, and this world isn't a romanticized world, you know. This world is a harsh, realistic world. This is something I have learned ever since I was a boy. You understand? And if you're going to survive in this harsh, realistic world, you better wake up and smell the coffee, even though I don't drink coffee.
And I'm asking you, why do you think it will be any worse than it is now?
It'll be worse because, see, right now, you heard in that analysis that China has a large amount of the minerals and so forth that is needed for weapons of mass destruction, for IT technology and that kind of stuff. Apart from the oil, you're also aware that Venezuela has a lot of mineral wealth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so America wants to put itself in a position, but see, here's the mistake that America made. While what's her name said, China works with its mouth shut. While America was beating and putting all the sanctions on Venezuela, China sneaked in China took over the resources. China invested in the oil refinery and all that kind of stuff, invested in their mineral and all that kind of stuff. Go and Google the kind of interest and the indebtedness that Venezuela has to China right now. And you will understand what is happening in the world. The United States cannot just go...
Just this morning, Quinn, just this morning too, they announced a blockade of ships, of oil tankers. They qualified it. They said oil tankers that are essentially illegal or is not supposed to be running the so-called sanctions that they have against Venezuela. They're announcing a blockade. In other words, right, they're going straight to the heart of Venezuela's oil economy.
And in doing so, this is what I'm saying.
You notice that China is not sending their oil tankers, Russia is not sending their oil tankers to fill the gap, eh? You know why?
Who tell you they're not?
Why you think that is so?
Who tell you they are not?
No confrontation.
Mr. McMahon, if you're going to speak, it's going to be an interaction between me and you. You just made a statement. I'm asking you, who told you that no oil tankers are coming and going in terms of wine? CNN is a propagandist. You see, this is the thing. This is what you all don't understand. If the United States has an agenda, you expect the U.S. media is not going to follow that agenda?
Let Cartentia just quickly Google it and see the news report this morning.
Google what? What am I Googling?
You're not going to say something as big as bold-faced as that, because that's an escalation.
It is an issue. But listen to this.
Our breaking news is from Iran. Iranian authorities have detained 18 crew members of a foreign tanker seized in the Gulf of Oman on Friday that they say was carrying 6 million liters of smuggled fuel. 18 crew members include nationals from India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. It is not yet clear how many Indians were on board the vessel. The authorities say the tanker had committed multiple violations, including ignoring stop orders, attempting to flee, and lacking navigation and cargo documentation. Iran, which has some of the world's lowest fuel prices due to heavy subsidies and the plunge in the value of its national currency, has been fighting rampant fuel smuggling by land to neighboring countries and by sea to Gulf Arab states. Right, our assistant editor for Foreign Affairs, Sidhan Sibol, is now joining us on the phone. Sidhan, what's the latest on this information?
Iranian authorities have detained 18 crew members following seizure of a foreign oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman, accusing the vessel of transporting approximately 6 million liters of smuggled diesel fuel. Now, the 18 crew member hailing from India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh include ship's captain and are currently under investigation. Iranian media, including the Faras News Agency, reported that the vessel was boarded off the coast near the Sea of Oman and towed to an Iranian port. Now, we know that the tanker was intercepted.
I'm going to cut that, right?
Yeah, that's a different region.
Yeah. But here's the point. You see, you just said we're going to cut off things in our region. I tell you, this is a tit for tat. You have a region, we have a region. You cut off thing in your region. How come CNN ain't telling us that story? How come we see feeling that they are dividing up the world into pieces for and the bigger powers, right? And there's a reason behind this, you know. The whole world cannot have this standard of living of the developed world. Okay? The resources just aren't there. Okay? So the third world, for want of a better term, have to be kept in its place. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that, and I fall for this too, I
fall for the idea that, well, the West is so developed, have life so easy, that they're not going to want to risk a war to jeopardize that. And that is a fallacy.
Okay.
They're very warlike people.
Well, at least you're coming to the reality of what is happening.
That's how they got to this point.
Yes,
And we should not assume that they would not fight to keep what they have.
They will fight. And this is what I'm saying. And this is why I'm saying, Mr. McMahon, we had better wake up and understand. And this is why when the farmer calls and he says, when something happened, 2 weeks later we can't feed ourselves, and our leaders here still aren't putting emphasis on agriculture. You understand? These are the things we are saying. We are saying that we cannot say like you, Mr. McMahon, it's going to happen anyway. So no, we're going to have to find ways of working out how we, even in our little ways, are going to survive. And we are only going to survive if we start to decide that we're not just going to hang on coat and tail to the United States. It's the United States has started this. It is not Maduro who started this. It is not China who started this. It is not Russia who started this. It's the United States who started this.
Here's the hard question for you, Quinn. How do you stop this? How do you develop the kind of independence that you want our tiny nation to have?
I have always said, Mr. McMahon, if you have been listening, and Cortensia is over there, I have said without any water in my mouth, we as a Caribbean cannot do anything in the world scheme of things. This is why we must put our strength and faith behind Africa. Why do you think Africa cut off its internet and it's not dealing with Google anymore? Huh?
Africa has its own problem.
Yes, but because it has its problem and it has the biggest, it has the most resources combined, it has the most minerals combined. We are hoping we see it happening. Look, there's nothing called, what do they call it?
But they're under the same strictures as us. They're going to go after them as well. That's what I'm saying.
But Mr. McMahon, when they go, this is why, again, you must understand the art of war. If America divides itself to fight war all over the world, it is going to hasten its demise. It's going to, Europe is in shambles right now. Why do you think Europe is waiting on their knees for America to do this? And why do you think Trump tell them boldly, you're going to use your own defense, why do you think they're trying to grab onto Russia's money to try to give it to Ukraine? Y'all don't understand what is happening in the world. Wake up and understand what is happening in the world. And we as a black people better start to be ready to play the game.
Look, exactly. But I agree. I'm agreeing with you that we should know how to play the game, right? If we're going to play the game, we better know how to play the game.
We as a Caribbean people right now, Mr. McMahon, what you are offering right now is what we cannot do as a Caribbean island. What we can do is to get together as a Caribbean people, unite, and then let the U.S. and the rest of the world do what it wants. We're not supposed to go on the U.S. side. You understand? Because the U.S., it does not care about us. We are supposed to find ways to unite among ourselves and in our own little ways try to survive. That's the only thing we can do.
Brent, you realize they can just shut down our tourism tomorrow, shut down our CBI tomorrow, and then what?
And we're not going to try to survive still? Why are you saying we're going to are we going to all commit suicide, Mr. McMahon?
They can also shut down the containers of food.
Mr. McMahon, and if they do that, Mr. McMahon, are we all going to commit suicide?
No.
Okay, so that is my point.
Yeah, we should have started planting anyway.
And Cortensia, I'm sure you'd agree with me. Our tastes now are such that we're not going to like that new lifestyle that you're suggesting.
Listen, if it's one thing I know as humans, no. We may not like it for a while because everything that comes in, we cuss, we complain, we murmur, but guess what? We adjust. So I believe as human beings that can adjust to anything, we will adjust.
You're going to do without your phone, your iPhone.
I don't have an iPhone, thank God.
So you see,
sir,
you see what Mr.
We will live. We will survive.
So you see
I could imagine most of the people saying, okay, you can go ahead and do that.
We were dealing without them before. When we had phones, how did we go to the supermarket and we got the message to bring something else? We didn't go back.
I don't believe it's going to come.
With our list.
I don't believe it's going to come to that
fine.
because you see, Mr. McMahon was saying we were being, using a word saying we were bringing in panic, but that's what he's doing now. Because he's now going to that ultimate extreme. I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think so.
Our ancestors survived the sugar plantation, survived working hours.
Hello, hold Mr. McMahon. Hello, caller.
Wait,
Mr. McMahon, hold on.
Mr. McMahon, hold.
And they are not,
Mr. McMahon,
to make the kind of sacrifices that you think is necessary to put us in a good place. They're just not.
Okay.
All right, Mr. McMahon, we have an
and that is why I said the other day, we've grown soft and non-militant. We don't want to upset no apple cart. Okay?
So what Mr. McMahon is saying...
Don't take away my bread and you can't give me biscuit.
So what Mr. McMahon is saying in a nutshell is, you see the SSZ? This is what Mr. McMahon is saying. Rather than being a bit uncomfortable, because we want to make sure we continue maintaining this lifestyle, let our leaders do whatever they want to do to bring in monies at our expense in the long term.
I know you know better than that. I know you know that I am against that. I am not.
But if you're against,
but then how can you be against that? But then what you're saying is kind of
you understand? Yeah.
Contrary.
You can't be against. It doesn't make any sense, Mr. McMahon.
We could survive without all those things. Our ancestors survived.
Still go along.
Yes.
Yeah, we can survive.
Go along to get along.
But my question is, right, wasn't we surviving before our nincompoop leader make tourism our main industry?
Exactly. So we can go back to that.
I'm not going to call our leader a nincompoop. I'm not going to call our leader a nincompoop.
You didn't call him a nincompoop, I did.
Listen, I think we're going to survive. We're going to do just fine. We survive with everything. We survive with the VAT. We survive with the rising cost of living. We survive. We've proven to be a resilient race, and we can survive.
After a hurricane, don't we go back to the coal pot and the firewood?
Exactly. And we survive, right?
And now the food tastes good.
Yeah.
Exactly. And plus, we don't have no data, no TV to watch, nothing. We don't adjust and play games and run all the players. We'll be fine.
So how many people would like to go back to the coal?
It's not going to go to that extreme, Mr. McMahon.
And Quint, the problem is we make people feel like we're so indebted. We're so indebted to them. We so need them.
But that's how it looks.
Without them.
That's how it feels.
And when you give people that power over you, that's why they take advantage of you.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, we're 4 minutes over time.
Anyway, guys.
Mr. McMahon,
All right, Cleo.
It's still all love, eh? It's all in the debate.
Of course.
Yes.
It's just that sometimes dealing with reality.
Yes, is harsh.
Is difficult.
Yes.
Mr. McMahon, start planting a garden, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Take care. And that's how we're going to end. Man, I tell you, it's been heated this morning, huh?
Very.
But Cortensia, let me end by saying this. There's something happening in the global politics that majority of the people, they're not aware of. There's an evolution happening. And out of this, we're going to see a new dynamic of how the world is going to run after this. You understand? The most of the people aren't aware because in this proximity, we are bombarded by American news and they give us what they want us to hear because they have an agenda. You understand? It is incumbent upon us to be aware of the news around the world so that we can know. Mr. McMahon is right. We as a Caribbean people, there's not much we can do. I've said it on a number of occasions. And this is why I say let the U.S. continue doing what she's doing, because she's creating her own downfall. Many have gone before. There have been superpowers before. Where are they today? Miss Henry has said it on numerous occasions. You rise, you fall. America is smelling her fall right now.
You think that?
And she's trying to curtail it, but no. What she's doing, expediting it, because the rest of the world is now seeing what the America is all about. You've never been our friend, and you've never cared about our interests. And that's how we bring an end to.
All right. Have a
Island
great
Tea
hump day.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This Christmas, make the season brighter with help from TDC Financial Services. Whether it's gifts for the family, a holiday home makeover, or that special celebration you've been dreaming of, our Christmas loan promotion is here to make it happen. Get up to $85,000 unsecured or $100,000 secured with affordable rates, fast approval, and the trusted service you know and love. Apply today at TDC Financial Services on Central Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts, or Main Street, Charlestown, Nevis. TDC Financial Services, your holiday, your loan, your way, where money is made easy.
The wait is over. Registration is now open for the COSCAP Junior Carnival Parade 2025. This year, we celebrate under the theme National Treasures, highlighting our unspoiled historical sites and cultural art forms. The Masquerade, Clowns, Brimstone Hill, Berkeley Memorial, Independence Square, and from Nevis, Hot Spring, Bath Hotel, and the Botanical Gardens. It all comes alive on Saturday, December 27th, 2025. Sign up now. It's free. Register online at www.skncarnival.com or in person at the Department of Youth, 3rd floor of the Cable Building, Keon Street, Bastyr. But hurry, while stocks last, join the celebration. Honor our national treasures and watch the future of Carnival shine. It's sweet to the core. Sugar Mass 54.
This is it. The last day, last chance to save big at Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers and Builders Paradise. For one day only. Wednesday, December 31st. Enjoy a massive 30% off all discountable in-store items at Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers. And 25% off all discountable items at Builders Paradise as we clear the shelves and prepare for 2026. Celebrate accomplishments, celebrate savings, and celebrate new beginnings with the final sale of the year. Last day, last chance, last call to save big. Build with us. Build at Horsford's Building and Nevis Centers and enjoy everyday low prices at Builders Paradise. Only on December 31st.
This Christmas, add postpaid for a festive win-win. We're gifting you a 50-inch smart TV or a $400 Amazon gift card. When you add a Flow postpaid mobile plan to your home internet, you can celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with a big screen or big shopping. Let us upsize your TV or clear your Amazon cart. Either way, you come out on top. Add postpaid to internet today for your festive win-win. Visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply.
98.9 98.9
If you never ever jump up in a carnival, you better find yourself right here. Because we come on, you come to party, come on, I come to party, come on, we come to party, come to party. Hey, come on, you come to party, come on, I come to party, come on, we come to party, we come to party. Let me tell you about Caribbean people, we love to bet, and when we don't have vehicle, everybody just walks to the vet, off to the bank and change couple check. ATM now everything set. Pick up the girl I met last night I go. Say we now leave till the morning. We now until they say go home. Say we ignore the bouncers calling. Tell them to leave we alone. Because we born in we mind. This is we life. Just like a lion come out from the wild. No we can't contain. Check we profile. Better send me back one time. Because we come for it. Oh yes we come for it. This let we come for it. Oh yes we come to party. Yes we come for it. Come from us. Come to be inside of the man. You see where I come from. We come to party. Because we come for it. Road jam we come for it. This let we come for it. Oh yes we come to party. Tell them come pride. Come from it. Come for girls and strong from again. Bring them all I can complain. I come to party. If you can't take the pressure, get out and done. If it's too much soca inside I hear, get out and done. If you can't take the strong rum in here, get out and done. Soon as we come, mash up the fed, then get out and done. Because we bad in we mind. This is we life. Just like a lion come out from the wild. No we can't contain. Check we profile. Better send me back one time. Because we come for it. Oh yes we come for it. This let we come for it. Oh yes we come to party. Yes we come for it. Come from us. Come to be inside of the man. You see where I come from. We come to party. Because we come for it. Oh yes we come for it. This let we come for it. Oh yes we come to party. Tell them come pride. Come from it. Come for girls and strong from again. Bring them all I can complain. I come to party. Because we come for it. Oh yes we come for it. This let we come for it. Oh yes we come to party. Tell them come pride. Come from it. Come for girls and strong from again. Bring them all I can complain. I come to party. Come on. Come on. Come on. We come to party. Come on. Come on. Come on. We come to party. Come on.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Let's get real on WinFM. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride